Welcome, seekers of truth and admirers of elegance, to a gala edition of your sanctuary for refined storytelling and behind-the-scenes clarity, Secrets Behind the Stars. As the world surrendered to the passage into 2026, under the velvet sky of an Istanbul that refuses to sleep, two figures who have ignited collective curiosity chose to script their own page in destiny. Tonight, we aren't here for whispers. We are here to unravel the anatomy of a night that felt touched by fate, a meeting that has left the international press and fans of the series, Arafta, vibrating with wonder. We're speaking, of course, about the captivating chemistry between Barış Baktas and Yağmur Yüksel. Before we enter this maze of light, toasts, and confidences shared beneath the thunder of fireworks, a sincere invitation. If you value a narrative that respects nuance and chases the truth with poise, become part of our circle. Subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars, activate notifications, and most importantly, consider tapping the join button. By becoming members, you not only sustain the independence and excellence of this channel, you also gain access to layers of insight the general audience will never see. Give this video a like and walk beside us into the heart of the most talked about New Year's Eve of the decade. New Year's in Istanbul is never just a date, it is choreography, light and shadow dancing while the city's elites seek refuge in intimate, elegant corners. Barış Baktas and Yağmur Yüksel, fully aware of the magnetism they produce as an on-screen pair, and, perhaps, as a real-life duo, selected a setting infused with time-honored sophistication. In a restaurant whose location we choose to keep discreet, though its excellence is whispered among the most discerning palates, they began their journey toward 2026. The room glowed beneath silver-toned chandeliers, the air perfumed with a meeting of haute Ottoman cuisine and contemporary imagination. It was the perfect backdrop for a dialogue that stepped beyond scripts and rehearsals and entered a territory only trust allows. Witnesses recall that what passed between them was more than conversation, it was a symphony of looks and gentle pauses, a language forged during long days of filming and private hours far from flashing cameras. Between courses, they revisited the victories and demands of the year slipping away, the 2025 that launched them to international recognition. It wasn't merely a dinner. It was an act of gratitude, a moment that interrupted the relentless whirl of fame to recognize that, amid the noise, each had become the other's quiet harbor. They spoke softly, sometimes laughing, sometimes just nodding, as if a shared memory could finish a sentence for them. In the delicate negotiation between career ambition and personal calm, they seemed to be speaking the same tongue. Let's pause here, family of Secrets Behind the Stars. Hearing these details invites a question that lingers with all who watch them ascend. Is the spark we see on screen only the reflection of impeccable professionalism, or are we witnessing the dawn of a bond that will define Turkish celebrity chatter for years? Tell us your carefully argued theories in the comments. Do you think 2026 is the year they will finally make official what so many suspect? If you enjoy this level of analysis, the join button is your passport to truth with refinement. Your support through join funds travel, verifies sources, and grants the rigor you expect from every story we bring to you. Join now and remain at the heart of Secrets Behind the Stars. As midnight approached, the ticking seconds insistent and audible, Barış and Yağmur stepped out from the warmth of the restaurant and moved toward a vantage point in the city, a natural balcony overlooking Istanbul's jeweled horizon. There, where the Bosphorus holds history and the bridges gleam like necklaces of diamonds, they prepared to welcome what comes next. The cold air rolled in waves, but it seemed to have little claim over them. They existed in a climate of their own. Shoulder to shoulder, with a closeness that spoke of full trust, they formed a quiet island above a riot of celebration. Below, the city swelled with music, laughter, and triumphant noise. Above, a hush hovered, punctuated only by the kind of breathing that arrives when two hearts count down together. They reached for one another's hands, fingers weaving in a gesture that sends analysts of body language into overdrive. In that small act, there was a statement, a border drawn not to keep anyone out, but to keep something precious in. At Secrets Behind the Stars, we recognize those still moments as the ones that define a relationship's essence. Grand speeches weren't necessary. In the crisp air and candle-warmed memory of the evening, their presence beside each other said more than anything they could have posted or posed. Their silhouettes against the city looked like a promise made without words. And then the clock found 12, and 2026 arrived like a fanfare. The Istanbul sky erupted into a canvas of improbable colors, the night itself applauding with each burst. In that luminous chaos, as the world cheered, Barış and Yağmur folded into an embrace that looked both unplanned and inevitable. It halted time for them, if only for a heartbeat. It was an embrace that celebrated the fresh year and also paid gratitude to the one that had tried them and rewarded them. The feeling was visible, the thankfulness woven into their touch. From a distance, observers compared the scene to a romantic painting from another century, brought forward to modernity and lit by fireworks instead of oil lamps. There were whispers of hope, murmurs of future projects, and the steady warmth of knowing they had arrived here together. It felt like the perfect start, stripped of the superficial glitter of massive industry parties and anchored instead in sincerity. We applaud authenticity here at Secrets Behind the Stars. Seeing two renowned talents choose calm companionship over spectacle is a reminder that, beneath fame's veneer, every heart seeks connection. Before we move to the final part of this chronicle, a gentle reminder, this channel strives for quality and grace. If you haven't subscribed, do so and tap the bell. If you wish to carry us farther and become a patron of our ongoing investigative work, click join. Your support keeps us your leading source for Turkish celebrity insight and gives you access to the content you've been waiting for. Tell us in the comments which other stars you want featured soon. Your voice guides what we create. Press join and step into our inner circle. The dawn of 2026 finds Barış Baktas and Yağmur Yüksel at a peak that no one in the industry has failed to notice. This New Year's meeting wasn't an accident. It felt like the crescendo of a connection we've been tracing here on Secrets Behind the Stars. Whispers suggest the coming months won't only bring televised success and returning seasons, but might also hold space for announcements that reach well beyond the set. The peace and joy they radiated at the close of their night suggest they've struck a balance between demanding careers and a private world they fiercely protect. The international press is already echoing this perfect start. For Arafta fans, seeing its leading lights share a moment as sacred as the turn of the year affirms that the magic can live off-screen. But here, we move one step further. We read the night as a declaration of principle. Barış and Yağmur have shown that it's possible to be the focus of global attention while protecting the purity of a special bond. Their New Year's in Istanbul will be remembered as the prologue to a year that promises to be historic for both of them. An introduction written not with headlines but with choice, restraint, and quiet faith. We close this chronicle with the sense that we witness truth in a world of appearances. Barış Baktas and Yağmur Yüksel reminded us that magic rarely resides in grand stages, it lives in the company we keep. An intimate dinner, a shared horizon, and an embrace beneath a sky of fire were enough to revise their story in front of our eyes. From Secrets Behind the Stars, we will keep watching with care. Every gesture, every caption, every fleeting shadow, to bring you the truth with our signature elegance. We hope 2026 brings them immeasurable success and, for you, an abundance of exclusive insight. If this narrative stirred you as much as the fireworks over the Bosphorus, remember to like the video, share it with fellow Barış and Yağmur admirers, and of course, subscribe. And once again, consider joining our members by tapping the join button. Your support through join is what keeps the flame of Secrets Behind the Stars alive, letting us retain our independence, travel where the story leads, and honor the craft with the depth it deserves. We'll see you in the next exclusive, always here on your trusted channel, where the elegant truth is never out of reach. Before we part, one last look back at those final seconds before the new year claimed its place. On that balcony with the city sprawled in jeweled light, the two of them stood in a comfort that has nothing to do with fame and everything to do with understanding. It felt as if both had learned that stardom's brightest light can also cast the longest shadow, and so they chose to illuminate each other instead. That choice, quiet, deliberate, and without spectacle, may prove to be the announcement that matters more than any words could. Perhaps this is how a legend begins. Not with noise, but with certainty softly spoken, with hearts aligned, with eyes open to a future neither of them needs to rush. If destiny truly has favorites, it might be because they do the work of meeting it halfway. So linger with us a moment longer and imagine the hush after the fireworks faded, the wind tugging at a scarf, the glow of the city ebbing into a quieter shimmer. Imagine them letting the night end slowly, not with a flurry of cameras, but with the steadiness of two people who have given each other permission to be exactly where they are. That is the story we carry into this year, not a spectacle, but a vow. And you are here for it, with secrets behind the stars guiding you through every glimmer and silence, every rumor and revelation, every chapter written against the Istanbul sky.